Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to have a debrief of the latest past paper. So I am sitting on the 25th of August today, and this is the preparation going on for the September attempt of the students. And here we are discussing the Eastern Hospital Trust. This is a question, as you can see, I'm opening it on the ACCA practice platform where this is a March-June 2025 paper. So for the September attempt, this is the latest past paper that is available to us. Hence, this is very important for us to practice. Now, let's give the scenario a read. Before that, I will briefly have a look at the requirements. I am supposed to first, for 3 marks, define economy, efficiency, and effectiveness, the 3 E's in a value for money context. And here, I do not see the name of the scenario, which is going to confirm to me that I do not have to link my answer to the scenario. Here, only a generalized answer is supposed to be provided. Then part 2 wants me to explain for 4 marks why it is important that EHT uses a balanced mix of performance measures across the 3 E's. So the requirement is asking you specifically for this question, EHT, the Eastern Hospital Trust that we are talking about. So for this particular entity, is it important to use a balanced mix? Why it is important to do that? Can we not just prioritize one of these? Can we only not give priority to economy? Can we only not give priority to efficiency? Why is it important to do all things together, to manage all the 3 E's together? That is what this question is asking you. Then now have a look at the scenario. You will probably need scenario when you are solving the other requirement, part B. So for this, I'm just going to quickly switch my screen to the position where I've solved this question. So I have written an attainable answer for you people. What you might see on your ACCA practice platform, once you submit the answers, that is the perfect answer which you people are not expected to write. So here I've come up with an attainable version which you people can refer to while you are framing your answers. So let's have a look here. I have answered the part A for you people wherein we were supposed to talk about the value for money model. So we are letting them know, we are starting off with a brief introduction. This is a 3-marker requirement. So we will just quickly define each 3 of the terms. Firstly, I have started with an introduction that the value for money model is used to evaluate who is it used for. It is used for not-for-profit organizations, as their objectives differ from a profit-making entity. For profit-making entities, we use ratios and all, but with not-for-profit organizations, the objective is different. So we cannot be just looking at financial performance. We use the value for money model. This model has 3 E's, which are economy, efficiency, and effectiveness. Then I've gone ahead to write the definitions of the 3 words. First, we have economy. So economy is all about providing the services. It's all about keeping the minimum keeping the input costs as minimum. So economy refers to providing the services of acceptable quality and quantity while keeping the cost lowest as possible. It is mainly concerned with keeping input costs at minimum. So this is the basic definition that we have learned for economy. Then we will talk about efficiency. So with efficiency, the keyword here being the output to input ratio has to be maximized. So I have written the definition that it is concerned with the relationship between input and output. That means how well the resources of the entity are being used. If the organization is said to be efficient, it will maximize the output to input ratio. Then you have effectiveness. It measures the extent to which the final objectives of the organization are achieved. For example, for a hospital, it might be to cater to the patients and treat their illnesses. Now, part 2 wanted us to discuss why we have to take a balanced mix of performance across the 3 E's and not just focus on one E. So we start off our answer by saying that it is important for EHT to use a balanced mix of performance measures across the 3 E's. You cannot just focus on one. Why? The reason is that if one of the measures is given more importance, the other measures will suffer, which will threaten EHT's achievement of its objectives. So if they focus on cutting costs, they will definitely be improving upon their economy. However, the quality of care that they provide to their patients will be deteriorating. Then another example that you can give, that if EHT focuses on economy because the funding cut is being imposed by the government, then in that case, we might be able to employ lesser staff, because of which people will have to wait for longer time and they will get bad quality of patient care. So it is very important to have a balanced mix, because if you do not take care of one thing, the other thing will suffer. If you only take care of one thing, the other things are going to suffer. So because they are interrelated with each other, if you prioritize only one of the measures, you will have to do a trade-off. Either you can save money or you can give people a good treatment, give the patients nice quality treatments. So without compromising, you should try to balance all the things together, so that all the stakeholders can also be satisfied, patients can also be satisfied, government can also be satisfied, and the objective of the hospital should also be met. So with here, we have solved the first two requirements. Again, taking you people back to the question on the ACCA study, the practice platform. Proceeding now to part B. Part B wants you to discuss the performance of the three hospitals using the data provided. You are supposed to use economy, efficiency, and effectiveness to structure your answer. And this is for 9 marks that you have to answer this. So now let's have a look at the scenario. They are responsible for running 3 hospitals in the east of the country of Azuland. These hospitals are called as the Middle East, the Northeast, and the Southeast. The EHT's overall objective is to provide top quality medical services which are quick to access and supported by excellent patient care. So this is the objective. You can highlight that this is the ultimate objective that EHT is working towards. EHT is funded by the government of Azuland and does not charge patients for the services its hospitals offer, which include patient referral by a doctor and emergency treatment. In the recent years, the government expenditure has been significantly higher than the tax revenues, and the government is trying to reduce the public spending. As a result, EHT's funding has been reduced. EHT's chief executive has raised concerns that these funding cuts could lead to a reduction in the number of staff employed at the hospitals, which may affect the quality of care they provide to their patients. The following table shows the actual results for the last financial year. So we are supposed to discuss the performance. Subheadings will be these: economy, efficiency, and effectiveness. We are given with the measures. What all measures are given to us? Let's have a read. The results have also been verified by the auditors. Now let's have a look at the measures that they have collected information about, and then we have the notes related to these measures. So what are the measures given to us? Percentage of emergency patients treated within 4 hours. So the note tells us all hospitals have a target of treating emergency patients within 4 hours of them arriving at the hospital. So if these are emergency patients, they have to be treated as soon as possible, right? So how many percentage are we able to treat within our target? These are the percentages given to us. Next, you are given with the percentage of non-emergency appointments scheduled within 12 weeks. The target is that they should attend their first hospital appointment within 12 weeks of being referred by their doctor. So this is also the target that we said, that within the 12 weeks, they should be given the appointment. Another is the percentage of patients who describe the services as excellent. So these are the ratings which are given to us at the end of their treatments. Patients or their relatives, if a patient is unable to respond directly, are asked to assess whether the quality of care has been excellent, very good, good, poor, or average. Fourth measure that we see is quality rating score. It is an assessment made by independent external medical professionals who observe the quality of a sample of the medical procedures being carried out in a hospital. A score of 5 denotes excellent, while 1 denotes poor. So the ratings are given to us. And then the last two measures, average cost per patient is being told, and overspent compared to the budget. That means whatever budget was set for the hospitals have spent more amount of dollars, and this is why this much amount of money that they have spent more money. So 143,000 more, 156,000 more, 531,000 more than the budget have been spent by the hospitals respectively. So how are you going to do the evaluation? There are 6 measures. You can use 2 each for economy, efficiency, effectiveness. For economy, this is about the cost of the inputs. So average cost per patient and overspend compared to budget. These two measures can be used for economy. Then if you talk about efficiency, how are we able to use our resources to provide the outputs? So the emergency patients, non-emergency patients, this is what will measure our efficiency. Effectiveness is all about the achievement of our objective. So the objective is to provide top quality services. So we will get the service rating from the customers, from the patients, as well as the external team of medical doctors. So these are the things that we are going to use respectively for the evaluation in part B. So I will take you people back here. Just give a clean observation over here. In terms of overspending, we have observed that Southeast has spent the most amount in terms of the budget. Then if I compare the average cost per patient, Northeast has spent the highest cost per patient. Then if you talk about the quality rating score, Northeast has gotten the best quality rating. Mid-East has gotten the worst quality rating. Excellent services also same story. Northeast has gotten the highest number, 56% patients told them they were excellent. And then the worst rating is given to Mid-East. Then if you talk about the efficiency measures, the best performance has been done for emergency patients by the Mid-East hospital, and then the worst performance has been done by the Northeast hospital. If you talk about the non-emergency patients, the highest number is 95%. Mid-East has done the best. And if you talk about the worst performance, it has been done by the Northeast hospital. So now we will have a look at the draft answer that I have prepared for you people. Okay, so here it is for economy. I have put the subheadings as the question has instructed to me. Now I will talk about what measures have I used. So firstly, in economy, average cost per patient, Mid-East has been the most economic, Northeast is the worst performance. One of the reasons is because the patients coming at this hospital may have had serious illnesses which took them longer to treat. The second measure that we were choosing is the overspend compared to the budget. So all hospitals have spent more money than the budget. That means they were unsuccessful in controlling their costs. Among the three hospitals, Southeast has performed the worst because its overspending is the highest. So they need to focus on cost savings urgently. Last, we can write an overall comment also that all in all, all of the hospitals, all three of the hospitals should review where they have spent extra and they should try to identify possible areas where money can be saved. For example, staffing levels, they can reduce the staff. This is particularly important because the government has reduced the funding given to these hospitals. Second, you will talk about efficiency. The measures that we have used here are percentage of emergency patients treated within 4 hours. So Mid-East has performed the best, Northeast was the least. The waiting time as well as the cost. Then if you talk about the non-emergency patients, then Mid-East has again performed the best. Northeast is the worst performer. This could be attributable to the same reasons which we have mentioned above. Proceeding to a general comment, you could say that all hospitals should try to improve their efficiency to ease. Last, we will talk about effectiveness. The measures that we will be using over here, percentages of patients who describe the services as excellent. Northeast has been the most effective, meaning that they have offered the best quality care to their patients. This is due to them spending more amount of money per patient. So this talk about the Mid-East being the worst performer. Quality rating score, Northeast has performed the best. They have received the excellent rating, which means they have been able to achieve the objective of providing good quality treatments to their patients. So this is how we will frame this answer. Then if you talk about the Mid-East getting the worst rating, this is because they have spent lesser money, which is why maybe the customers, the patients were not satisfied with the level of services that they were provided. Now we proceed further. All hospitals, we will end with a general comment that all hospitals should try to improve their effectiveness while they try to measure other measures of economy and efficiency. Now we will go back to the last requirement that we have as a part of this question. So the last requirement is we will discuss two challenges that EHT might face when measuring the overall performance objective, measuring the performance of its overall objective. So what problems can the company, the EHT face while they are doing that? So the problems that we can possibly face is, first problem is subjectivity. Now here we are talking about the quality, the patients that are receiving the services. It's a service business, so service will always be measured in terms of quality. Now quality is difficult to quantify. Something can be good to you, but it cannot be, it may be looking bad to me. So that is why, because of subjectivity, we will find it difficult to measure the things. Quality of care in medical services is hard to quantify. KPIs like ratings out of 1 to 5 and measuring good, poor, average, etc. will help you reduce the subjectivity, but it will not eliminate it completely. Another challenge that we can find is the reliability and accuracy of the information. So sometimes how you're collecting data, that also matters a lot. How you're collecting your information, maybe if the patients are in a hurry, they might not answer the questions that you're asking very honestly, very nicely. So in that case, we will be getting bad quality data, we will be getting inaccurate data. Then if I proceed further, what all other difficulties I can face is availability of information. So sometimes the government, when we are collecting this non-financial information, the government is running on a strict budget. So if they are thinking that this is waste expenditure, the government may say that there is no need to collect this non-financial information. Then in that case, we will not be able to measure our performance completely. We might have incomplete information, or we might not have information available at all. And the last challenge which I would like to discuss is the systems. So maybe in the hospitals, there are not enough systems for us to be able to measure properly that what is the non-financial information. So if we want to record the feedbacks by the customers, we will need some softwares, we will need some databases, there will be costs that we have to incur for that. So maybe the hospital do not have systems which can collect and store that information consistently. So with this, we have solved the most recent past paper Eastern Hospital Trust question. If you have any difficulties, please feel free to leave a comment down below. I'll be happy to help you. All the very best for your exams.